Hi guys, I just wanted to share a little project I'm working on this evening. Yesterday I thought I had a go at making one of these little stoves. So I've seen a number of little stoves on YouTube. I'm not sure of the merits of the designs. I was thinking I'd like a little thing to take camping with me. I was going to possibly build a barbecue, but they're pretty cheap to buy off eBay really. My major plan is really that I want to try and harness some different forms of energy from this stove. So I come up with a little design that I'm going to kind of use for a test rig, try and get some different energies out of it, thermal into water, maybe thermoelectric, possibly a hot air heater, I'm not sure. I was also going to do a few experiments to see which fuels are the most efficient. We'll find that out maybe in later videos. I'm just going to share a little design I've come up with. First of all, I've got this little plate that I made. I was lucky enough to use a plasma cutter to cut this out. I guess you could have just used a hacksaw and drilled these out. It's 2mm steel. I think it's 2mm, might be 1.5, something like that. I can get all sciencey, possibly, if you want. Yeah, let's do that. We'll tell you exactly what size this is. So zero my measuring device. There we go, 1.95, so 2mm between friends. What else have we got? We've got a pair of these. Now, as I say, I did do them on a plasma cutter. I thought they were identical, but actually, after I've polished them up, I've worked out they're different, which is a bit strange. They were both done from the same model, so I don't know where the problem has occurred. I think that was the top. That was the top. So something must have moved while they were cutting. I didn't notice it happen at the time. I guess it's possible. Then clean those up. Pair of those. The next thing, one of those is going to be for cooking on. A little, hopefully big enough to pull a kettle or cook a burger or something like that. The other one is going to be a fire deck. I've put together a little tray. This is just 1mm thick, I believe. Yeah, we'll call that 1mm, shall we? Good enough. Folded that up. Did a little bit of spot weld on the corners. Probably put a little handle on that eventually. Don't want to be handling it hot. Don't think it will hold much ash, but it will just stop stuff from falling on the floor. So the next thing was this little contraption that you can't actually see there. I'm going to have to zoom out to get it all in. Please excuse the mess. There we go. So just 3 pieces of 1mm thick. I've done a couple of corner brackets. This was put on in a bit of a rush. What I'll probably end up doing is creating some sort of little tabbed system here so that the top will slot in, and once it's slotted in, it will actually hold these wings in place so it won't fall apart. That, or I might go with some sort of little metal box that it sits in. Possibly could have done that, but I actually want to raise the ash up off the floor because theoretically I don't want to set fire to the floor. But that sits in there. I've just got some piano hinges on here really. I'm probably a bit overkill with the piano hinges, and I've spot welded them on along there. The idea was that this would actually fold up flat, but because of these tabs here it won't fold up flat. But obviously if I put some sort of little catching system on there where things hooked on, then hopefully that would fold flat. So here we have that part. We have our ashtray goes in the bottom there. I will be pulling in another set of brackets like this to hold the fire deck in place, but for now I'll just sit it in there so you get some idea of where that piece will go. Okay, and then I will put the top piece on top and it just sits in there like so. Okay, so could have been a tighter fit. And a bit of a problem there with obviously not taking into account the hinges, but just for a little prototype, not together, not bad, I didn't think. What we'll do next is actually put some fuels in here. I'll have a go at heating some water and actually see which fuels do best. The other thing I'm interested in finding out at this point, and I've looked, there is a formula for figuring it out, but I do like to just try things and check for myself. Through a bit of trial and error, I'll raise the height of the flame for the different types of fuels I use to actually see which fuels work which height. Okay, I believe you have a certain height above flame. Somewhere I was reading it should be from the fuel about 7 centimeters. Correct me if I'm wrong. Probably matters completely on what you're burning. Okay. Okay, I haven't actually put any air holes in here. That should hopefully get enough air through there, and I'm hoping that there's enough gap there to stop it setting fire to the floor if you were to put it on a piece of wood or if you were to use it on a peat ground, but we'll experiment and find out. Some of the other ideas I've had was to actually go ahead and put a copper tube heat exchanger on the back of here. Okay, have some pipes come out the back and actually use a little pump to circulate some water into another tank that I could then use for washing up. Probably not for cooking, not for a pot noodle or anything, but definitely for washing your hands. Have a go at boiling water on the top of here and see how long that takes. The other idea that I do have in the back of my head is, this is a tiny little thermoelectric cooler. They're used for in these little mini fridges, but you can also heat them and they'll generate a voltage. You can see I've put a candle under this one and have generated a bit of voltage. What I'll probably do is run a slightly bigger thermocouple. Here it is. Well, a couple of different thermocouples, and the idea was to possibly mount a thermocouple on the back of here and then have a heat sink block coming off the back, and actually use the thermocouple to either circulate the water, if I can find a pump that will run hot water through it, okay, or possibly just charge a mobile phone or something like that. I know you can get these things on the market, but where's the fun in just buying something when you can have a bit of a play and have a go at putting something like that together? So, nice little project there. Do need probably a bit of welding, but I guess if you've not got a welder, you could screw these together with nuts and bolts. Could even possibly come up with a design that's a little bit more efficient than mine, and like I said, if you had a tray on the bottom, there's no reason why these parts couldn't slot in and this part could slot and actually hold itself together. And I say, if that had folded flat, that would have been a nice little package size there, all little flat pieces, but it doesn't, but that's not bad, is it? That's okay. We'll see how that goes.